Okay, so now I need to go find some pins that I can put here. Yeah, I thought I had left the pins with that, but obviously I did not. I know I can steal one from the backhoe, which the pins that held in here, it was actually missing that locking pin. So it's a locking pin like this. Obviously, gonna go through a lot of those as tractor owner, but everything's connected. I do need to go through and get this thing greased up. It's the first time I've used it with this tractor, so obviously everything connected really well. And but I do need to go through and get it all leveled out, make sure that it's going down to where it needs to go, get it all adjusted, because everything was adjusted for this, right? Obviously this tractor was not powerful enough to run this implement the way that it should be. This one is, so it's going to be interesting to see how well everything does. But I do need to get it all lubed up. I am missing 3 hammers on here, so let me get it over to the shop and let's go take a look. Okay, so I got everything greased up, and basically what you want to do is you want to go check all of the teeth on this thing, right? So you can see I have one missing here. So we have on this all the hammer blades, so we don't have there's 2 different types of blades you can have on this. One, it looks like a Y, right? And then the other one is called a hammer. Well, this one is more meant for stumps and brush and just all that stuff, which you can take these off. You can always kind of grind them a little bit, give them a little bit of an edge, but you always want to come and check all these nuts, because I've had these come off, and that's why 3 of them are missing. So one here, one here. I have, I think if I turn this, yeah, one here, right? So basically going through, I know it was this one that originally, and this one that originally came off, but we're going to go through and just check every single one of these. Right now I have a nut taken off this, and just make sure they're all tight. But then I'm going to go ahead and add one here back in, and obviously you want to make sure that they're facing the right direction.
Got it. Here. That's the only one I got. I got it right here. You could have easily used this one.
This is a different size, dear. Different size.
I have it. It works. It fits.
This nut is the different one. It's not the original. This is the one that's different.
Oh, God.
Remember what I said?
I did. Yes. I heard what you said.
Remember what I said? And doesn't give you a whole lot of space for.
Nothing.
Here, rotate it down this way.
Wait.
Because I don't even know. Because this nut's probably not.
As long as it stays in for now.
Perfect.
It moved. There.
That'll be fine.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do, donkey. Okay, this one came off of, where did it come off? Right here. Here, let's move y'all back that way. And I don't know what the
That one's alright.
torque.
Oh, I don't know what it would be either.
Well, the minimum that this can go is 120 inch-pounds. I don't have my phone. Yeah, I do. Dell Morino Flail Mower hammer blades torque value. Let's see what it says. Bum, bum, ba-dum. It should be using the grade 8 bolts. Not publicly available, but it's in the service manual, apparently. So I'm gonna make it tight. Get off me, stupid flies. Fly, you're about to die.
Ew, babe.
Well,
yucky.
wasn't taking no for an answer. All right, I don't know. If you could give me the same size wrench, which this is for.
That was the correct one.
Spark plug socket.
What did you just say? Don't know it.
I know you don't know it, but that's why I'm telling you. Not for spark plugs.
Hey, I was looking at the size. Nothing else.
Okay. And also you want to make sure that it's still going to turn.
But there should be no problem because they're smaller than the whole.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're not bending these tabs to where the hammer blades will still turn. Next row.
Giggles is like so tired. She's been in that pool for a long time. And then she's like, just trying to go to sleep. I guess it's a big thing laying an egg.
I guess. I know I wouldn't want to. Next row. Next row. Yeah, that should be it. I already went through that one. This is the one that we put that other nut on. So that should be it. So, all right, let's fire this thing up and let's get to work.
You do that one. I gotta go do tortillas.
Have fun. So stick around to the end if you want to see some flour tortillas.
Oh, really?
Yummy. Actually, one last thing that I do want to do with this before getting out and going is, for one, right, is I can adjust left to right, which I think right here I'll be fine, because I know that the left side of my mower is right in line with my cab for the most part, and then my right side will stick out just a little bit past that. But for any type of future cutting, if I know I need to be like right up against the fence or anything like that, that's where I'm at. And then obviously adjust my mirrors, because I know this mirror does need to come out some basically of where I know that it was. And then I also want to be able to adjust this to where this roller bar is touching the ground, right? Because that kind of is what gives me my height, my limit. And I don't know when I did that, but that right there is bent, but it still spins freely. Okay, it's not messed up from that bearing, but that's something that I will need to look at and address in the future. Basically, I'm gonna have to undo this, take this off, try to rebend that, and then put it all back together. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get this thing fired up. Let's get it all adjusted where it needs to go, and then let's go cut some grass. Okay, so all this area back here is where I'm going to start. And I mean, as of right now, I've never used this Flail Mower with this tractor, so I'm just going to kind of go through, because there's a few different PTO settings I can do and stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead and set you all up on a quick time lapse, and let's just see how this thing does. So far it's been doing okay. It's really off balance without having all the teeth in there, so it vibrates a lot, which actually caused my top link to come undone. Even though it has a lock nut here to lock it in place, that's actually loosened off, and I actually had the whole thing come apart and it basically caused this whole thing to go right, didn't catch it on film, but I've been getting just about all this knocked out. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is all gonna have to move somewhere, or we just set it right here to burn it, right? Obviously, the big burn piles over there, I didn't want to have anything inside the fenced area. And then I also got wood over there that also needs to be moved because I can't cut there either. But kind of been going through, found a big old varmint hole. I don't know what lives there, but I guarantee you there's something in there because that's a fresh hole and fresh stuff around there. It's probably a skunk. But I've also been trying to, see how well it does on stumps. And it took that one down okay. But I really think it'd do a lot better if I sharpened all the teeth just a little bit. They don't got to be razor sharp, but sharper than dull. Right? So I'll definitely be doing some more maintenance on this thing. I'm just trying to get as much of this stuff cut down. It's basically the last of the season, right? So summer's just about done. So a lot of the stuff's already starting to die out. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm kind of coming through, cutting stuff down. I'm also going to do the same thing up in the front. But yeah, once all this is done, then I can take this off, put the backhoe back on. Should not need to use this until next season. But well, we'll see what happens. Well, I guess I'm not going to be cutting anymore until I get the hardware for this thing, because I'll show you what happened. All right, so if you look in there, you see that one's touching the top, and right now it's locked in. I can't even turn the thing, so I'm gonna have to release that bolt in there broke. So I want to replace every single one of these because I've had an issue, right? I'm missing 4 teeth, and yeah, all because the bolts want to break. So I'm gonna redo it, but it's gonna take some time, and I need to figure out how many bolts I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing off. I set it up on its end so I can actually get access to that thing a little easier without having to be up underneath it. So I'll just set it here in front of the shop. So, well, that's gonna end my day. So I guess I'll kick you over to Gladys, and she's inside making tortillas. So I know a lot of folks have been asking for that, so enjoy that one, and then I'll see you in a sec.
As promised, time to make some flour tortillas. All right, let's get started. We're gonna start off with 7.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 3 teaspoons of salt. We are going to go ahead and mix this. Just mix it up a bit here until the salt and the baking powder are all nice and mixed. Then we're going to go ahead and put 1 cup of shortening or lard. I have lard here. So just 1 cup of this, okay? Okay, get it all in there. And we are going to mix this in, okay? We're gonna mix it in very well till it's crumbly pretty much, where all these big pieces have already separated and have blended in with our flour. Wow. I know. So it's just 5 ingredients that we have here. Some people do their flour tortillas just with flour and water. Others flour, water, and salt. But this is the way I've been taught since I was little. The first time I made flour tortillas, they were hard, very hard. So not only were they hard, they were also shaped like steaks. Did not come out round the way I wanted them to. But, and probably knocked some teeth. But I did not stop trying to make tortillas. Nope. The more I practiced, the more I started to get the rhythm of it, and I got better. Now, all of this was actually done by feel initially. So I would put as much flour as I wanted in there, salt, baking powder, as much as I felt was right. And we would measure with our hands, so this much or this much lard, or which we used a lot of lard instead of the Crisco is what I used. So instead of any type of shortening, we use lard. Okay, so as you can see here, all of this is already all nice and crumbly. So last ingredient that we need to use here is our water. Our water has to be hot, not boiling, scalding hot. Please don't do that to yourself. And I'm going to use 3 cups of hot water in here. Okay, so I got my kettle here. My kettle is already nice and hot. I stopped it before it could sing, or should I say whistle. But we're gonna put 1 cup at a time and mix, and just keep mixing the ingredients, okay? So here is 1 cup, and I just toss it in there. You can see some steam coming out of it. I am used to this. Don't try that at home, okay? With this steaming hot. Everybody says, you know, oh, your Latin mom, she could put her hand in a comal, and because that's what we call our flat skillet that I'm going to take out to cook the tortillas in. And we're used to be hands, you know, touching hot stuff. So as you can see, we are mixing and mixing here. I've already mixed all that in. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 more cup in there. You'll probably hear me a lot better now that the fan is off. Yeah. Okay, so I'm mixing this in here, and just gonna keep going. Still mixing in that 2nd cup, and as you can see, the 2nd cup still hasn't gotten the rest of this on the side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 more cup of water. 1 more cup of water. And sorry about it, my cup was in flour, but so here we go. Still mixing, still mixing. And we're gonna keep mixing, okay? All right, so I'm almost done mixing here. As you can tell, I can always know when I'm done, because you start grabbing a piece of this, just a piece of dough. If it can clean that hand that you're using to mix, see how it's pulling away all that? It's pretty much taking off all that excess that's there. That is how you know that this dough is ready, okay? So when it's able to clean your hands, well, you know, I mean, your hands should be clean either way, but if it's able to clean it from all that dough that you have, and it's able to clean the bowl. Look at that. See how that is coming off? That is how you know your dough does not need any more water. Okay. Now, lay it on a clean counter, or if you even have one of those wooden flat tortilla, forgot what you call it, kind of like a cutting board. But if you have something like that, good. If you don't, then the counter is your best bet. So you see what I'm doing right now? I'm just mixing it around, and look, nothing. There's not much there. Nothing's holding on to the counter. So that's how you know this is ready. Just mixing it. Then after that, you're gonna let it
let it sit for a couple of minutes, okay? Let it do its job. Look at that. Nice, huh? Nice piece of dough. Grab this, put it in there, cover it up. You can cover it up for about 15 minutes. Just let it reposar, or let it breathe a little bit, okay? Some people will be in a rush and they'll right away want to just go, bloop, come on, let's do a tortilla. And you can if you want to, right? You can if you want to. I do it all the time. So some people say, okay, so why let it rest? I mean, I don't know. You know what? No. All right, guys. So this is your job, your outcome here. I went ahead, rubbed it all the way around, make sure it didn't stick to the bowl, and it is ready. I have put it all in there, made sure it's ready. So let's see. Now, one thing in this ingredient is that you got to keep the flour out because you're going to use it to extend your tortillas so that they don't stick to the counter. Okay, so let's do that. So now it's time to roll these tortillas into little itty bitty or balls, or yeah, discs. There you go, that's the word. And it's going to be about maybe 2 inches in diameter, depending on how big you want your tortillas to be. Or should I say, depending how big your comal is, okay? Or the skillet. The tortilla skillet, right? Okay. Yeah. And remember, do not get, what's that word? Not upset, but discouraged. That's the word. Do not get discouraged if your dough seems to be off. It can always be fixed. That's the beauty about the tortilla dough. It can be fixed, okay? It cannot be fixed once you cook it, but before that it can. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that. So here's the final countdown. There is actually 31. I guess this one's a test, you know, to see if the comal is hot or too hot, I mean, or not hot enough. So I might not have a rolling pin, but I have a pizza pin, or pin, you know what I mean. So let's start. Gotta grab one of these, and I am going to be dunking it into some flour. Okay. Well, you can also, you know, flour your area if you want, but sometimes I just like to just dunk it instead. And then I bring it out. And then we just slowly start extending it. And in slow motions, as you're going up and down, you're going to keep turning it and turning it, okay?
So I go through and replace all the bolts to those things.
Uh-huh.
That's the on each set. Another bolt broke.
Another one broke? Okay. So we are ready to go ahead and put our first tortilla here. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. So this is how we'll know whether it's too hot or not hot enough, okay? You'll start seeing little bubbles where the tortilla's cooking. It's got to get that nice little, you know, Those little nice brown dots that you see. See how there's like a little pocket in there? Get it out. Let that pocket air out. I was just going to create one of those big old bubbles in there. There we go. Look at that. So you start seeing that. And look, when you start seeing that, you can start to see how they're browning down there, the little dots. So let's do it a little bit. Cook a little bit longer. Not too long now. A couple of seconds here and there. Boom. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And the smell. Amazing. So just quick and easy. If you have it at the right temperature, this will go by so quick. Okay, look at that. So quick. Another couple of seconds. Sorry about that. Another couple of seconds and we will be done. There it is. Look at that. Then, they go in there. I know that my container is too small for these tortillas. But yeah, so, and the fan. Make sure the fan is on. Here we go with another one. This has to keep going quick, one after the other.
And there we go, folks. So the best thing about having homemade tortillas is you get to have leftovers in the morning for breakfast as I sit here and edit out the video for y'all. So if you enjoyed our journey today, then give us that subscribe, share us out, hit that thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated. If you'd like to stick around a little bit longer on this journey we call life, go ahead and check out this video we have right here. Or the whole year's playlist over on this side continues to grow as the year progresses. Check out these icons up at the top. Makes it easy to subscribe both here and to our side channel. Go check that out. It's greatly appreciated. And then last but not least, always get out there, thank a veteran every chance you get. Not only on Veterans Day, but we'll see you on the next one. Later, friends.